Hey everyone, it's Lauren. So today I'm going to be bringing you a video about Japanese fashion magazines, more specifically Japanese fashion magazines that are targeted to women who are in their 20s. I'm not really going to be focusing on fashion magazines that are made for women in their 30s or actually men's magazines either, because I don't really know much about men's magazines or magazines for women in their 30s. There are a huge range of fashion magazines here in Japan, but the ones that I'm going to be focusing on are just the fashion ones and the ones made for women in their 20s, because there are nail magazines, there are hair magazines, there are makeup magazines that you can buy, but I don't normally buy those because I find that I already get a lot of that in the fashion magazines that I am about to introduce to you. So now getting into the good stuff, I'm going to be introducing you to some of my favorite fashion magazines and some of the ones that I tend to pick up more than others in the bookstore. And also, first off, I wanted to say a little bit of difference between at least American fashion magazines and Japanese fashion magazines. I don't really know about European magazines or any other magazines around the world. I really haven't had too much interaction with those. So I'm only going to be comparing American magazines to Japanese magazines really quick. First off, here is Ray, which is one of my favorite fashion magazines here in Japan. And then here is Glamour, from when I came here this past summer, an American fashion magazine. So if you look at that, first off, the American fashion magazine is smaller than the Japanese fashion magazine. The other thing that I can say is that the quality of the paper is a lot worse in American fashion magazines. Like it crumples very easily, but Japanese fashion magazines, the quality of the paper is a lot better. Also, I find that the quality of the pictures are a lot better in the Japanese fashion magazines, and also there don't tend to be as many ads in Japanese fashion magazines. Of course they exist, but I feel like if I go through this American magazine, like about at least this much of it at the very beginning is just filled with ads. Another major difference that I find between American fashion magazines and Japanese fashion magazines is that Japanese fashion magazines tend to have their own models that they have in that fashion magazine that women get to know. I know I'm a fan of a bunch of Japanese models, like Karina. She's very famous in Ray. She's a model in Ray. She goes between other fashion magazines, but I know her main thing, I believe, is in Ray. Famous model and talent, Rola, whatever you want to call her, she is in ViVi all the time. So you get to know the different models who are in the magazines, and it's a big deal to be a model in one of these magazines. And what I was telling about the ads earlier is that those ads, they tend to just do segments on special things that some companies want to promote with the actual models that are in the magazine. So it's not like you're getting a straight up ad. You're actually getting some more insight into the product versus just a straight up, oh, buy Burberry or something in the American fashion magazines. So another thing I like about Japanese fashion magazines that are different than American fashion magazines is that they kind of give you a coordinate set. So meaning that they will give you a bunch of staple items like this. Normally like 1 or 2 sets of these in a fashion magazine each month. And then they give you ideas on how to coordinate all of those, like from day 1 to day 30, or how many days of the month there are. And it also gives you some ideas based on if you're going on a date, if you're going out with friends or something. They'll give you a bunch of different types of things. So here's an example right here. So like day, and then here's another. Last but not least, I'm going to be going through some of my favorite fashion magazines that I read on a monthly basis. And first off, I am going to talk about Ray. So Ray is the #1 fashion magazine that I pick up every single month regardless, because I just love this magazine. Sometimes I might not necessarily wear some of the fashion that is in here, but it is just such a good magazine, and this is what I was just showing you about the coordinate. I absolutely love this, and as I said, I might not necessarily wear all the fashion in it, but I just love the quality of the pictures, and I love Karina. As I said, she's one of my favorite models, so I always get this magazine because of her as well. The next one that I have been recently picking up on a monthly basis is Nonno. Of course, Arashi is on this specific edition of it, but I recently have gotten into this magazine because my friend had been recommending it for a while, and it has a lot of really good street fashion, like something that I would actually wear on a daily basis, the type of fashion that's in here. So let me give you an example. This one also has a coordinate type of thing as well. So this is the coordinate set for Nonno this month. So this is actually the type of stuff that I think that I would wear on a daily basis, and it gives me a lot of good ideas. It's a little bit less girly, and that's what my normal fashion is. So that is an example of it. Does have a little bit of girly stuff in it as well. So for me it's a good combination between like it's not too girly, and that's kind of what I like in my type of fashion every day. Next up is ViVi. So this one is a hit or miss for me. This is more edgy, I want to say. So I don't normally pick this one up on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, because sometimes it's a little bit too edgy and not something that I would wear every day. But I really do like Rora, the model that is in here. So every once in a while I will pick it up if I see some good coordinate stuff in it or I'm liking the fashion. And I feel like some fashion magazines go for different seasons for me. It just depends on the month. So I go to the bookstore and I kind of flip through the magazines a little bit to see if that's the type of fashion that I would wear. But I do have Ray and Nonno are definitely my staple magazines that I buy every single month. Next up is CanCam. CanCam is, I think, similar to Ray on the type of, it's girly-ish fashion. I think this is more of like not in college type of fashion. Like this is meant for women who are a little bit out of college, like maybe 23 or older or something. This one is meant for. I think it's still a 20-year-old magazine, but it's meant for a teeny bit older 20-year-old. So sometimes this is not the magazine that I would read because I'm still very much in, I just graduated from college, so I'm still not in that transition period where I'm going into kind of upper 20s fashion yet. Last but not least is JJ, and I feel like that this is a good medium between Nonno, which is more for like college students, and also CanCam, because CanCam is a teeny bit older than I would like. So JJ is a good medium, but this is not one that I would pick up on a monthly basis either. These are one of the ones, this is one of the magazines that I kind of have to flip through and see if I like the fashion for this month. So out of all the magazines, I bought JJ, ViVi, Ray, and Nonno this month because I enjoyed the fashion this month. But next month it could vary. Sometimes I buy only one fashion magazine, sometimes I buy, as I said, 4 of them. Normally the price, if you can see on here, is like Nonno is 680, but sometimes they can get into the 700 range, 700 yen range, so they're kind of expensive versus an American magazine is only like $3. So it's quite an investment, so that's why a lot of girls will sit there and like flip through the magazine to see if they actually want to buy it, which is what I do. I think that is all that I have for you. If you guys have any other questions or want me to go into a little bit more detail or anything like that about some of the content of the magazine, please comment in the comment box below and I will try and answer your questions as best as I can, or kind of make a follow-up video based on some of the questions that you guys had. So this was just a basic overview of the type of magazines that I read and maybe a little bit of content that they have in them versus American magazines. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment in the comment box below, like it, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye! This is News's first album as 4 members, but it wasn't any just regular old album. It was an album that wrapped up an era of News.